Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Taurus Moon, and I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God's duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And a person like me just can't lay around, sit around till I get 100%. I have to confirm I'm a motherfucking 100%. I have to get up and live my motherfucking life every day, regardless of the pain I'm going through standing, regardless of the pain I'm going through moving around, regardless of the pain I'm going through getting out of bed, regardless of all that shit. I have to sit here and truly jump into the vibration of I'm 100%. I'm alright. 100% is a program. There's no such thing as that also. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to live in a 360 sphere of reality, then why is people stopping at 100%? Why is people stopping at 100 degrees? We need to understand that. Well, somebody always trying to call me and attack me when I got something good. Fuck! Hold on, alright, let me just sign this contract real quick. Hello? I was good with it. Oh shit, same old. Yeah, my homeboy, he ended up calling as soon as you left. But I was like, man, I'm not about to, it wasn't even like a couple minutes either. It was a couple seconds. Like, I was like, but nah, fuck it, man. It's too late now, man. I didn't even want to give him the pleasure. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, for sure. Should be a lot better this time. Oh, nah, that niggas be up. Yeah. Alright, one. Yeah, that's my nigga right there. Alright, but look, check this out. And pardon me, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might be even entertained by that. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I usually would try to cut that part out, but I would have to do so much. And depending on how long this video gonna be, I do not feel like waiting for that rendering session. That fucking converting session. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about, like I said, I gotta confirm I'm 100 motherfucking %. So I don't give a fuck if someone look at my face. I don't give a fuck people who be around me like, man, you alright? You alright? Nigga, I'm alright. Take your concerning ass somewhere. Check this out. We gonna get into the motherfucking, we gonna get into let's get into something fun. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into, I haven't did a Zodiac You About That Life yet. I did one. People say I left out Leo, but I added Leo into a Leo video separately. So I forget what video was the title. I'm sorry about that, but we stepping into a whole new one right now. That one was about relationships. What this one gonna be about? Arguing. Let's see. Arguing. Arguing was the first thing that popped in my mind. Let's see. Are you about that life? All Zodiacs arguing. Is you about that life? Let's start off with the first Zodiac. Aries love arguing, but see, here's the difference between. I'm not even gonna get into the difference yet, but we're just gonna talk about the basic temperaments. Aries, is you about that life arguing? I say you are. You love arguing. You love debating of all type of forms of fashion. Now, when we say competition, and Aries like to be in competition, I hate when people, all mundane, low consciousness people, always tie that to fucking sports. Always tie that to fucking competing. Or using your aggression physically, being in caveman like. That's nothing at all what Aries archetype is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to believe that, because look, I'm a prime example. If you want to know what Aries is, you can watch my videos. So I hate when I watch other astrologers and then when they start to break down Aries, there's always an archetype that has something to do with Mars and fire. And then the only way they know how to explain that is combining Mars and fire, which is passion, willpower, intentions, and fire, action, and enthusiasm. And then when you start to break that down, only conclusion you could come to is, oh, they high energetic and they love sports. No, and oh, they act caveman like and they don't think. And they act before they think. I'm going to tell you one motherfucking thing about me. And I am an Aries. I'm one of the smartest motherfuckers out here. So I don't know where you get this motherfucking caveman shit. But I'm far from a motherfucking caveman. Now, if you cause me to attack your ass, I may attack you like a caveman. And I don't give a fuck about weapons. All that shit. I use all that shit. You got arrogant ass people who fight every day out here talking about, oh, he a pussy, he kicked, he bite. Listen, nigga, you better hope I don't kill you, motherfucker. You worried about a kick. You worried about, nigga, I do karate kicks, back flips, front flips. I am Jet Li in the middle of altercations, nigga. You stay your way and you don't cross lines, motherfucker. Now, I'll tell you that. And I thought about it too. Believe me, I watched plenty of action movies, plenty of karate. Nigga, I grew off motherfucking Teenage Mutant Ninja motherfucking Turtles, Power Rangers. Nigga, you think I want Bruce Lee your ass? Nigga, you got life fucked up if you think I'm finna go with your coordinate laws of fighting, nigga. You not gonna win. I don't care what the fuck I gotta do to make sure that your ass do not win. Now, that may be cave-like. That made me caveman-like. I may hit you with the first fucking thing that pop in my head, and if it's a sucker punch, that 9 times out of 10 that'd be the first thing. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I may do that. That may be cave-like. I may not be thinking before those kind of actions, but you have to actually oppose an Aries for Aries to reach that point. See, when it comes to arguing, Aries love to argue, but it has to be for a purpose. I'm not gonna argue with you if it's something I'm not into. If you trying to argue with me as something that I'm not into, I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to be like, okay, well, that's you. I'm not into that. And then instead of telling you what I'm into, I'm going to lead by example and show you what I'm into. And not going to care to explain it to you. So that way, it's going to fuck your mind up even more. That you're going to look at it like, this nigga don't even care to explain to me what he into for us to even have an argument dialogue. So it has to be something I'm into. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't something I'm into or something I don't care about. Now, if I hear a conversation of a group of people talking some bullshit of a subject I'm very well into, that I might just come in and pose all energies that got something to do with that fucking conversation that's going on. I may jump in and oppose every motherfucking body. And then another thing with Aries too, see, with the competition spirit, like I was saying, it doesn't necessarily always have to do with physicality. It's a warrior type spirit. So your framework is just to sometimes sit back and understand something for yourself first, then understand it as a whole. You have the lower Aries who understand things for themselves and try to oppose it on everybody. Then you got them higher Aries that try to learn everything for themselves and try to apply it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference with opposing and applying. Applying is understanding your story, you understanding my story, and let's come to a common agreement. And 9 times out of 10, Aries is the first sign, so it's going to be first in thought. 9 times out of 10, that Aries is going to have the first perception to help you. They create their own perceptions of how they see things. So 9 times out of 10, Aries is going to have the first good idea, the first way you should feel about something, and that's 9 times out of 10 is the best way to feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to an argument, 9 times out of 10, Aries have analyzed the first argument that could win. So they may not know as much as you know about a subject, but they know argumentative skills because it deals with competition, and competition could go on a metaphysic level like that, opposing energies. So when an Aries is opposing you or applying something to you, it's almost like it's to a point that the competition might go to a point that you could be giving this Aries negative compliments, and they oppose it with showing you how positive they can be. But the competition level heightens so much sometimes that, and not physical, I'm not talking about physical, I'm talking about just inside when you have to get yourself first. It can go so high that sometimes you can't even hear when someone giving you a compliment. Someone might give you a compliment, and before anything, you telling them what's wrong about you. It's like chill. They give you a compliment. You don't have to oppose every single thing just to have that energy out there of you can control your own outlook. Because that's where it comes from. That's where it stems from. It stems from when Aries start to feel like they're out of control of a situation or they're out of control of their own realm of reality, then that's when they can become opposing on others. And that's when someone throw you a compliment, You don't like that person having their own perception on you. You want to keep your own perception intact, and you want other people to know that. So when a person gives you a good comment, you start to feel funny and start to tell them something that's slightly wrong with you. So you could slightly create the balance within your own outlook again to say that you got this. You got your own emotional report, and that's a bad and a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But is Aries about that life when it comes to arguing? Yeah, just has to be for a purpose. Now, Geminis. Oh, Taurus. Is Taurus about that life? Arguing? No. Taurus is not about that life. So if you in the middle of an argument with a Taurus, male or female, then you actually push them to the point that they may knock your head off. if a Taurus has to argue with you, like using all fiery energy or using all watery energy or using all this trying to manipulate energy with the air, if you push them to a point that they have to actually do those type of things, then you took them out of their comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? And Taurus hate to be took out of their comfort zone because this is an earth sign and it's a fix. So I like to stay right there. So when you make it budge, when you make that rock move, you're going to see the scrapings and all the ants and bugs and stuff that was under the position that it was there for a long time. You took it out of its rut. So now, if you making a Taurus use their energy, 9 times out of 10, they're getting ready to use that energy to knock your motherfucking head off. So when I see Tauruses arguing, that's how I look at it. I look at it like, oh, okay, you didn't push this Taurus to the limit, to the point that their back is against a brick wall. And they don't have no direction to go but through you. And they will go through you. So, you may think a Taurus is passive or whatever like that. And before you know it, you have a motherfucking $150 across your face. Y'all females know y'all carry them knives on the low. Y'all know y'all carry them gadgets. Them Taurus females be waiting. They be sitting back just thinking like, ooh, that girl just got her ass beat. If that girl who just beat her ass come my way, she don't know what she missing. Yeah, she think I'm a punk. Yeah, she come my way, end up in the motherfucking hospital. This is what Taurus females are thinking. They not out there expressing it. Like, oh, I beat that girl ass. I beat that girl, and then you go and fighting her, and y'all all fighting each other, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? No, they not like that. They more reserved. Now, let me remind you, a moon sign could fucking inflict the fuck out of a sun sign to make actions and reactions blur the line, and that can cause a Taurus, depending on the sun, depending on the moon and the rising sign, can cause a Taurus sun sign to act in these type of ways. But in some point in their life, they're reserved. And they're not really with that. They like more calmness. So is Taurus about that life when it comes to arguing? No. And if you are a Taurus and you arguing, you know someone pushed you to that motherfucking limit that you had to show your ass. You know what I'm saying? And once it gets to that point, it's all bad. It's all bad. That's like a bull. A bull could be calm all day. Boom. As soon as you open that door for one of them bull races when dudes be running and shit, the bull is at your ass. You know what I'm saying? So they fucking with the bull, making the bull budge. Now when the bull budge, but when the bull is on the run, how the fuck you gonna stop it though? You know what I'm saying? So this is how Tauruses are. So is Tauruses about that arguing life? No. Because before they argue, they gonna knock your ass out. Now let's get to Gemini. Is Gemini's about that life? Arguing. Hell motherfucking yeah. and then the crazy part about it is the difference between Aries loving to argue and the sextile of Gemini loving to argue. Geminis may love to argue just for the sake of arguing. Aries at least gotta have a purpose. Geminis, woo 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 woo. Check this out. If you're a Gemini female, you know you do this. You know you do this. You will cause an argument with your boyfriend just to see his reactions. You may not even necessarily feel that way of what you complaining to him about. Like you may step into the house one day in a super good mood, right? And you got this nigga, he always sitting on the couch, right? Now it's days that's a good thing, and it's days that's a bad thing, right? But you're in a good mood, and you wanna do something like clean up the house or cook for him or something like that, right? And you in a good mood, but you want to start showing him a negative mood. And behind the scenes, you still in a good mood, but you arguing with him and his faults just for the sake to see how he will act. And you're putting this in boxes in your head for future references. So to you, it ain't even that deep. It ain't even that serious. To him, he probably looking at it like, dang, why she come in with such a bad attitude today? What's wrong with her, man? What did I do? I didn't even do nothing today. Somebody must have pissed her off at work or something like that. I mean, this nigga, he going through all kind of mental issues because of the arguing you giving him. And you just sitting back testing this motherfucker, playing with his head, manipulating, playing Ring Around the Rosie. Playing fucking mental gymnastics with this nigga, and behind the scenes, you are fucking in a good ass mood. You just doing that. Then you go cook and give him a meal, and after that, and after that, you act like ain't nothing happened. So now he fucked up. You finna cause him to create other actions in his life that doesn't even make sense because he's trying to understand shit and it all makes sense in your head. It just didn't make sense to other people because the way you threw it out, it makes sense in your head perfectly though. You like two damn people. You in a good mood right here, but you're showing everybody you're in a bad mood. then it works in vice versa. And then you can go with the males too. You know what I'm saying? A male Gemini act mad amongst everybody. He act like he finna kill everybody, whatever like that. And inside his head, he ain't about to do shit. He just want to look at everybody else reactions to it to see how they gonna look at him. And to see if that's a good facade to start acting every day or to switch up the next day. You know what I'm saying? This is another reason why people look at him like they switch up. Like, so, hey, Geminis is crazy, yo. So then when it comes to arguing, hold on 1 second. Finish this little video real quick. Alright, then yeah, so when it comes to motherfucker arguing, yeah, they about that motherfucking life, because they gonna argue just for the sake of it. If you talking about a motherfucking comic book, be real quick. You talking about motherfucking comic book or whatever like that, motherfuckers yeah, they gonna argue just for the sake of the motherfucking comic book. You know what I'm saying? They not necessarily even gonna give a fuck about the comic book. You know what I'm saying? They just might sit there and argue just for the sake of we're arguing about comic books. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the motherfuckers who they read the back of everything, they read all the instructions, they do all that shit, look at analyze everything and shit like that, and they just ready for a motherfucker mental gymnastics, mental sparring. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? And so they love arguing just for the sake of arguing. They don't even necessarily have to be upset. They don't have to be mad. Feelings 9 times out of 10 ain't even involved. This is an air sign, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about the mental. So if they making somebody mad or they make themselves upset, it's more of them analyzing it. It's not more of them expressing it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you push them to that point that they have to do something physical. But 9 times out of 10 it's all mental. So if even if you're getting threatened by a Gemini or whatever like that, don't even take that too serious. Because a lot of times it's all mental. They're trying to throw perception onto you for you to look at it that way, but they not necessarily gonna follow through with that. But you got them crazy ass ones that may do a lot of shit before thinking. So you know, is Gemini's about that arguing life? I say yeah. All right, boom. Let's move to the next sign. Cancer. Is Cancer about that life? Arguing. Yes and no. This is a tricky one because this deals with the moods. So if they're in the mood to argue, yeah, they're gonna argue the fuck out of you. But if they're in the mood not to argue, then they just may knock your ass out before you even start arguing. Like that's how that works here. It's all about the gut. So that's tricky right there because you even got them talkative Cancers and you have them more reserved, quiet Cancers. So see, when you're dealing with the most powerful water sign, it's a little tricky. You know what I'm saying? You kind of don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna get their left brain or right brain that day. So if I was you, I wouldn't even try to necessarily get into an argument with a Cancer because the kind of energy that they put out, they don't really necessarily put out an energy of arguing anyway. Arguing shows a lot of energy, shows a lot of enthusiasm, shows a lot of high-spirited type of things going on. So that's more related to like more fire. And then it creates opportunities with air. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to water and earth, but especially water, especially the Cancer archetype, when it comes to arguing, see, it's kind of a bubbly nature. And then Cancer is not even in the water. They on the surface. So they're on land and in the water. So they understand the emotions for what it is, and they understand how to kind of tame it a little bit by being on the earth. So this is the first water sign that kind of understands how to take shape of itself and just take shape of everything it's around. So when it absorbs the room or it absorbs a person's energy that likes to argue or something like that. See, Cancer's archetype don't put out energy that's warranted for arguing. So whatever altercation or whatever situation that come into play may lead to actions up front before the actual argument. So this is more of an effect instead of the cause. You may cause something, but the effects may be way more harsher than the cause in a Cancer's outlook. Like, you may going around trying to argue with people, but depending on that Cancer's mood that day, they may fucking kill you before you even get to that point. and then the dialogue with arguing comes into play. It's not until everything is said and done all the arguing come into play. So you see the little dynamic difference. So it's kind of tricky. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch who you playing with. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go playing with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Cancers, sometimes they look at you. They may not show the expression you trying to show, and you may take that for granted. Like, you may be all hype, you may be all doing this, and they may not show you that in return. So you may get a little foolhardy thinking you can cross more lines than you actually can with the Cancer, and then that's when your ass gonna get snapped. You know what I'm saying? With that little crab thing. All right, now, boom. Let's get into motherfucking Leo. Now, Leos about that life arguing? No. I'm gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is a different dynamic between the arguing with the fire signs, because with Leo, you may not necessarily think they're arguing, but they are. You know what I'm saying? They just do it in a very subtle way. So this is why I can't give them that. I can't say is they about that life arguing, but they will argue with you all day, every day, just in a subtle way. Like, it's in a way that it doesn't necessarily feel like it's arguing. It's like, say you opposing an Aries, right? And Aries got their ideas, you got your ideas. Y'all just butting heads. The way Leo does it, it's like, say you got your ideas and the Leo got his ideas. You're gonna be saying your ideas instead of the Leo opposing your ideas. They're gonna say, okay, I agree with your ideas, but this is how I look at it. So now it's not an argument anymore. It's more like just a Leo telling you something, because they always want to be the boss of the situation. They always want to have control over the situation. So it becomes a situation where you may feel like you arguing, but the Leo just feel like they just telling you something. So if you take that situation as an argument, that's how they look at it. But they look at it like, I mean, I'll let you have your floor. I'll let you have your stage to say what you had to say. And now I'm setting my stage with what we had to say. And now we on an even playing field, and we both understand what's going on. We could agree to disagree. That's how, like, more of a Leo looking at it like, I'm just, and then you're never gonna make the Leo feel like they're wrong. Even if you just superimpose them and prove that they're wrong, they're gonna go talk to someone else about the situation like they will still try to tell you something. Like, so even if they got proved wrong, they gonna explain the situation like, yeah, this person might know what they talking about, but the energy and this that they was using was in the wrong place. So I'm just trying to explain that to them, that they're wrong by how they trying to express it. See, because Leo is the expressing sign. It's the ruler of the fifth house. It's the sun rules Leo, and it's the house, and it's the sign of expression and being center stage, not the center stage of under lights and being a musician or an actor or something like that. Center stage in your life. Center stage in your life situation. If you're in a household with 6 people and you're the breadwinner of the household, you're the center stage of that household. If you're amongst a group of friends and you have one friend that's a leader, and you have one friend and you have